Hello everyone, welcome to Christmas in July 2022 and this new series. I thought what I'd do is I'll bring all my videos from a glass cabinet, my mantle, my hallway console table, dining room console, and do voiceover and talk about the things that I like, going back to those videos and things that I don't like and what I'd probably do differently now. But as you can see, this one is from 2018 and I haven't used figurine since then, I don't think. Got it from QVC in the US, but I've got it on eBay. It's very nice. I'm still a big fan of burgundy, as I wear a lot of it even now. And all those faux deer. The way that I do the display cabinet now is very different to how I did it back in 2018. I think in this video, if I remember correctly, I think there's kind of just vignette on each shelf rather than a overall theme, which I prefer. So let's go into the actual video sound and see what I'm saying. Gold on them. So I'm going to put 3 of those in there. Well, I've only got 3, so obviously I'm putting all 3 in now, I should say. But one I'm going to raise up on this glass candle stand. So he's going to be at the back. Oops. I think this one's had a bit too much to drink. Get up there, thank you. And I'm just going to nestle these in. Yes, it's not to scale, but it's Christmas. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm just going to, I store my snow and I reuse my snow year in, year out until it just gets, either really, really dirty or oops. And I killed a deer. Oh dear. Oh boy, so my jokes haven't got any better, have they? Oh dear, that's awful. And I still use that same bag of snow even now. So even last year I used that same bag of same snow, and that would have been, 2018, 124 years later. So it's still going strong. Not a fan of the blue hue that a lot of these acrylic things give off. I use them now, but I don't tend to turn them on. This new item for this year, and these are my penguins. It does play music, but you can't have it so it doesn't. So that's it lit up with the music. Or another setting, you can just have it lit up. Is it just here, or is it everywhere around the world where these things that you buy for Christmas have the really tinny, tatty Christmas jingles attached to them? That just sounded awful. I'm going to be sprinklers and snow. That's one thing we don't get here in London, UK, very often, and that's White Christmases, which is a shame. Clean as you go, Gareth, clean as you go. I don't have those glass pine cones at the bottom anymore. Still got all those wooden boxes, they belong to my father. It's a chess set, domino set I believe, and I think the one at the top is actually something for him to store his tobacco in, but he never uses it because it dries out. Here comes the Santa Claus. Now, maybe a topical subject here, but I tend to think of the red and white Santa or as Santa Claus, but when I see the Victorian and the original coloration of Father Christmas, I think of him as Father Christmas. So when I have a red and white one up, I call him Santa. Very Coca-Cola. So let's go up at some faux path, which must have come from a village. So yeah, and here you go, here's another vignette which doesn't kind of correspond to the other two at all. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that now. Looking back at it now, I'm not a fan of how this is looking. I think at the time I enjoyed it, but 4 years now looking back on it, I think I would do things very differently. And boy, do I wish I could work like this in speed motion all the time. That was a snowman ornament from Poundland, which I don't have anymore because it broke. Yeah, not a fan of what I'm seeing so far. And, you know, I think we're all critical of how we decorate and how we craft and how we create. Love that Father Christmas on this sled and these faux trees. This is very simple. That would be nice with the rustic woodland theme, which is my lower hallway theme this year of 2022. Lots of galvanised and rust and berries and so forth. I don't have these snowmen either. I bought them and I think I donated them the following year. I initially liked them, and then after I had them on display I disliked them incredibly. Not the acrylic ones, the ceramic ones. So this is the last shelf, and then I'm assuming I take you in for a closer look, so let's click back into the audio. The top. Okay, now we come to the top here. I have these three kind of frozen glistened trees which I'm going to use. So I have one on this edge, one to the right hand side of the middle, and the second on this edge, on this end, towards the back. And then I have a selection of these rustic houses. So I'm going to have you in the middle. And then I have the taller version, so I'm going to have one on this side. And then I have one which is exactly the same, but instead of having it facing this way, I'm going to have it facing that way, so it looks slightly different. So I'm going to have one there. And then I have this smaller one, which I will put on a riser, a slight riser, and that will go towards the back. And then I have two of these which are the same. So one will go here, and one will go on this side. And then I have some miniature snowmen and trees which I will just use to decorate. Now these rustic wooden houses are one of my favourite things to use at Christmas. I'm going to use them again this year, but again they'll be in a different place than they have been in previous years. They've been here on top of the glass cabinet, they've been in my Christmas tree, they've been on top of my kitchen cabinets. This year, three of them are going to be attached to the wall in our lower hallway. And just in case you can hear background noise, my mother and father are watching the TV, just in case you can hear that. But yeah, these wooden rustic village pieces are one of my favourite things to use at Christmas.
No, she's the daughter.
So pan over, and then we'll go to the just the final pan overs, and then we move on to 2019, which I think is when I changed up the format of how I recorded. So we'll soon see, won't we? So now it's 2019, the year that I had my operation to remove cancer in my tongue. Didn't do many videos this year, but I managed to get some out for Christmas because I felt much better towards the end of the year. Yeah, this is a change of format. I like the charger plates was a thing that I found, if you like, in 2019. I watch a lot of Valerie Parhill on QVC, and she often has a charger behind something so it doesn't blend into the background, and I think it helps things to pop. So I started doing it, and I've kind of done it every year since, throughout different seasons. But this, I'm trying to remember what the theme was in 2019. I think it was kind of garden, you know, poinsettias, ivy, robins, that type of thing. I like this shelf with the placemat and the simple candle ring and hurricane. I think even now, a few years on, I still quite like the way that this cabinet turned out. Big fan of holly and poinsettias. See, this is a quick video actually for 2019. I remember that. I found these Spode plates on eBay. They're really hard to come by, and they're really expensive now as well, now that everybody's getting on the bandwagon. And those little boys are from QVC USA. If I remember correctly, I sent the money to a friend and she bought them and then sent them over to me, and I paid for all the shipping and everything. Because you can't buy from QVC USA from outside of the USA, which is a shame because sometimes I see things that I would love to own. But yeah, very much traditional colours, red, green, white, which I love. I think those Spode plates I might be using, and those charge plates I might be using in the lower hallway this year. But even those candle stands, those candlestick holders I got from eBay, I love to find previously owned things, and especially vintage things from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and even the 80s and 90s are now classed as vintage. There's this save it from the landfill, and things nowadays aren't made to last, and they're not made very well. Yeah, like, if I remember correctly, I added snow after the video, which you saw. If you go back and check, you'll see it in the home tour. But that's this video coming to an end, so I think I'll be quiet. Today we are doing 2020, the year the world stood still. Oh, I've recorded this one at night time. That's not something I normally do. I wonder why that was. Maybe it was just the only time that was available. And I'm doing the whole cabinet because usually I got into the habit of just doing one side because I tend to be quite a symmetrical decorator, so I didn't see the point of doing both sides of the cabinet on video if they were both looking the same. Each side was looking the same. It looks like I'm going to do, not gonna. Sometimes I pick myself up on my speech all the time. Here we go, green chargers, like Hunter green. This was the Victorian Charles Dickens theme. I like this a lot. Let's hear what I'm saying in the video itself. So that anchors the back of my cabinets. So let me put in the next item, which is a cloche, and inside the cloches I have some Victorian children's scenes. So I've got two of these, and underneath the cloches I am going to put a ivy and holly candle ring that I made last year using items from Poundland. Let me put those in place. Okay, so that's both of those in place. The next thing I'm going to add are, on one side, this illuminated Santa with a burgundy cloak or cape, I really like this this theme, and again the colour. I love the red and the green and the white for Christmas. I think it's very traditional, very it holds a lot of good family memories. Those two pieces, the Father Christmas, because it's burgundy not red, even though I call it Santa in the video, and that rocking reindeer, they were from QVC over here. They're from Bellanotte, which was a brand that the QVC in the UK used to stock for years, and then they stopped, and it's gone kind of downhill since then. But we've had them since the 90s. The rocking stag, the reindeer, I bought for my mum for Christmas years ago, and the Father Christmas my mum bought, because we just tend to buy things for Christmas because we love Christmas. It's a great time for family and so forth. But yeah, I'm doing both sides. This middle shelf is slightly different on both sides, but it has the whole Charles Dickens theme with the brass and the books and the Scrooge's kind. I think this is the side where it's kind of very, in my head I thought of Scrooge's office. You know, the piles of money, the candles, and you know the you can see the phone money, the books and so forth. His bookkeeping room. I really enjoyed this. This is something, you know, most of these themes I will do again, but it takes a long time for them to come round again because I change my themes up every year. Upstairs in our upper hallway will always be family themed, and then downstairs in the lower hallway I do a different theme, and in the living room, dining room I do a different theme. So it takes a while for those themes to rock back round again. So no charge on the back here. I have backed the plate up with a slightly larger plate, and those are a set of collectible plates that I got on eBay. And I put the foliage in front to disguise the 1980, because obviously they came out in the 1980s, so these things are technically vintage, as is the brass candlesticks. That one has a brass snuffer. I don't know if you can see it. It looks like that snuffer reminds me of many of the Christmas Carol movies when he snuffs out is it the first ghost? The Ghost of Christmas Present, where he snuffs him or her out because he wants to go back to bed. I do like the way that these turned out. And those plates took me, I think I got the first two the previous year at Christmas, and then I collected them throughout the year of what year is this, 2020? Because it just takes a while for them to appear, and I don't like spending, you know, obscene amount of money on them. I'd rather get them from as cheap as I can. You know, you've got to be frugal with your money. Oh, this is the lower shelf where I turn one of those gorgeous glass ornaments my mum and father have upside down. Charger plate. It's very, very Gareth thing to do. Okay, let me go back into the audio of the video. Next I have a Victorian carol singer scene, and I have two of these. Next to that, we're going to add a decorative box, which I'm going to be using as a riser. And then on top of that, I'm going to add a mercury glass candle stand. And then on top of that, I'm going to add a holly candle ring and one of these gorgeous burgundy and gold decorative ornaments, which I will place this way round, so the hanger is facing the well of the candle stand. And then a bit of holly to cover up the date of the plate. And that, crafters, is that shelf done, and it'll be the same that parallels it. So let me take the camera down to give you a closer look. Okay, crafters, thank you very much for joining me today, and you'll see me tomorrow where we do the dining room console table and the shelf above. Thank you very much for joining me. Stay well and stay safe, everyone. Merry Christmas. And now we come to last year's, which I haven't done blue, silver and white at Christmas for a long time, so it was really nice to do these colours. I really like that piece another time, which was a DIY from last year. And it looks like I'm doing, one side at a time possibly. Oh, this year, no, it was autumn where I did lots of different things on the shelf. Very cluttered, but still quite spacious, which is kind of confusing to say, but if you go back and see my autumn video, it kind of makes sense. That charger there, I was a silver charger, which I then Mod Podged a blue tissue paper on top, which gives it that kind of ethereal kind of look. I quite like it. Lots of Poundland snowflakes used in this. I like the way this turned out. Great Christmas colours, or winter colours really. I could have kept this up right way through winter, but by the time January rolls around, I'm ready to take it all down and do something fresh. I don't know if I speak for most or some people who like to decorate their home out there, but I tend to get bored of what's up quite quickly. I tend to keep things up for kind of 3 to 4 weeks, and then I need to change out. I need something different from my eyes to see, and because I have so many collections, I need to rotate it anyway. But those white glass trees I have had for years. I got them from QVC years ago. They got those little cell batteries in, which I never light them up. I don't see the point. They're not on timer. I try not to buy anything now that it's not on timer. It's pointless. Vintage candlesticks there, and Aquarian Eyes vintage plate at the front, and these little boys and girls holding candles. I got them on eBay over the course of the year, all vintage from the 1960s. I see I'm wearing a grey jump. Is that a grey polo neck? Yeah, I like my polo necks. God, you can see how much weight I've put on in that. Need to lose some weight. These plates are lovely. Lift it up, Gareth. I can't see. There we go. The problem with the way that I record, I don't see the screen that you see what you're recording is behind me. I forget to look half the time. Oh, my hair looks like it's freshly been cut. So yeah, I'm very symmetrical when I decorate. If it's not exactly the same, then it's reminiscent of what's on the adjacent shelf. And here we go with that same bag of faux snow that I used in the video, that first video we saw back in 2018. Same bag. Some snow here. Set. And I reuse this snow every year. I sweep it up and reuse it, hoover up what I can't get up, and then I sweep up the rest. Okay, let's do this side. I've got little snow baubles and acrylic pieces just mixed in, just to give it that, you know, that mixture of textures. Okay, let's move on to the shelf below. On the shelf below we have a silver charger, which I will put in the middle. Another snowflake to be suspended from the ceiling or from the shelf above. And then we have a candle holder with a glass shade. Go in the center. We have an illuminated mercury glass silver tree. We have a Thomas Kincaid snowman. And we have a white ceramic deer, stag, reindeer, whatever you want to call them. And yep, you guessed it. More faux snow. Got that song playing in my head from White Christmas, you know, the What is Christmas with No Snow? And I will do the same on the shelf on the right hand side. And this is on this side I have the Thomas Kincaid that my very good friend, very close friend, Amy Meme, she sent that over to me quite a number of years ago now, I think back in 2016, so I've had it quite some time. And that snowman is one of those pieces that I hold very close to my heart, as is from Meme. She sent that over to me, gosh, it's got to be 6 or 7 years ago, maybe, because we've been friends since 2014. Oh my gosh, it's coming up to almost 10 years. Wow, where did 10 years go? But and then I found the red version on one of those collectible sites, but it's not done very well. But the blue and white one that Meme sent over is just beautiful, really really nice. That gets safely stored away each year. So we're on to the last shelf. Another charger plate. Oh no, the big blue snowflake bowls that I got from TK Maxx a few years ago. So this has been quite fun. So next week on the 13th will be my Christmas mantles throughout the years, and I'll do the same thing as I've done here. Just pause it and do some commentary, and then you can go back and listen to the original audio, that type of thing. And then on the 20th it's the dining room console, and on the 29th it will be the console in the hallway. So each Wednesday throughout July I thought we'll treat us to some Christmas, because it will soon be here. Yay! See you soon, guys. Take care, one and all. Be safe. Be well. So I've hoovered up all the mess, and let's take a closer look. You'll see all these things illuminated during the home tour. See that I've got them blue tacked to the top of the hutch. Look how gorgeous this is. And it's mirrored on the parallel shelving or adjacent. So thank you very much for joining me today, and you'll see me again tomorrow for ATC Thursday. Take care now. Bye bye.